Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Hello everyone. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It's quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's dive into today's story. It was a crisp Tuesday morning when Emily arrived at the downtown office building for her interview. She had prepared for this moment for weeks. Dressed in a simple but clean dress, she hoped to make a good impression despite her limited resources. Her 6-year-old daughter, Lily, sat quietly beside her, clutching her favorite stuffed bunny, the one she refused to leave the house without. As they stepped into the sleek, polished lobby, Emily could feel the tension in the air. The building was grand, with tall windows reflecting the bustling city below. But the nerves inside her chest seemed to only grow heavier. She was here for a chance at a new life, a job that could change everything. However, Lily, ever the talkative and curious child, had been a handful in the waiting room. She'd asked about every person who passed by, pointing out their shoes, their phones, and even their hair. Emily had gently told her to quiet down, but she couldn't stop worrying. After all, it wasn't every day that she had the chance to sit in front of a CEO for an interview. As the receptionist called her name, Emily's heart skipped a beat. She walked through the glass doors of the office suite, Lily following behind her. The moment she entered the room, the look on the interviewer's face was enough to tell her that something was wrong. She had prepared for hard questions, but not for this. The woman, sitting behind a massive wooden desk, looked at her with a strained smile. "I'm sorry," the woman said, her voice tight. "I didn't realize you'd be bringing your child to the interview. We have a strict no-children policy here, as you can imagine." Emily's stomach sank. She tried to explain that her babysitter had canceled last minute and that Lily was her only option for the day. But the woman didn't seem to care. "I understand, but this is a business setting," she replied coldly, her eyes drifting toward the door. "I don't think we'll be able to continue with the interview. I suggest you reschedule when you can find a sitter." Emily's cheeks burned with embarrassment. She had fought so hard to get this far, and now it seemed like it was slipping through her fingers. Lily, sensing the tension, clung tighter to her mother's leg, her innocent eyes confused. Just as Emily turned to leave, a voice interrupted the silence. "Wait." The words came from a man who had just entered the room. He was tall, sharply dressed, with a confident presence that immediately commanded attention. Emily's heart skipped a beat when she realized who it was. He was the CEO of the company, standing in the doorway, looking at them with an unreadable expression. "I don't believe this is an issue," he continued, stepping forward. "Children should never be a reason to miss out on talent." The woman behind the desk looked at him, surprised. "But sir—" "No buts," he interrupted, his gaze never leaving Emily. "This woman is here for an opportunity, and she deserves a chance. I'll make sure to personally oversee this interview." The CEO then turned to Emily, giving her a warm, reassuring smile. "Don't worry, let's get started. You're here because you're qualified, and we'll figure out a way to make this work." Emily blinked in disbelief, not sure if she was dreaming. She had expected rejection, not this kind of unexpected kindness. It wasn't just about the job anymore, it was about the realization that sometimes fate has a way of surprising you when you least expect it. Asterisk. Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview, until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk. The interview room fell silent after the CEO stepped in, his presence filling the space with an air of authority. Emily stood frozen for a moment, her heart still racing from the sudden turn of events. She glanced down at Lily, who had calmed slightly but still clung to her mother's side, sensing the tension in the room. Emily could hardly believe what was happening. The CEO's words were like a breath of fresh air, and she couldn't help but feel a wave of relief wash over her. As he walked past the desk and sat down at the table, he gestured for Emily and Lily to take their seats. "I apologize for the inconvenience," he said with a reassuring smile. "Let's continue this interview, but I'll be overseeing the process personally. No more interruptions." Emily nodded, grateful but still a little in shock. She had been prepared for the worst, but this was something she had never expected a chance to prove herself despite the circumstances. The woman behind the desk looked at the CEO, unsure of what to say, but the tension in the room had already shifted. The CEO's words had an undeniable weight. He didn't seem like the type to tolerate injustice, and Emily was beginning to feel like she wasn't just another applicant, she was being seen for her true worth. "Emily, was it?" the CEO asked as he turned his attention to her. "Tell me about yourself." His voice was calm but direct, and his eyes held a warmth that made Emily feel more at ease. She cleared her throat, trying to steady her nerves. "Yes, my name is Emily. I'm a single mom, and I've been working as a waitress for a few years. I've been looking for a job that will allow me to support my daughter and give her a better life. I'm willing to work hard and learn whatever I need to do." She paused, unsure of whether she was making a good impression, but the CEO simply nodded, listening intently. "I respect your honesty," he said after a moment, his voice steady and reassuring. "I believe that hard work and dedication matter more than anything, and what's most important is that you're doing this for your daughter." That speaks volumes. Emily felt a lump form in her throat, but she quickly swallowed it down. She had been used to people judging her, especially when it came to being a mother and trying to make ends meet. This was the first time someone had looked at her and recognized her strength. Lily, who had been quietly sitting on her mother's lap, suddenly squirmed and let out a small giggle. Emily looked down at her daughter, and for the first time during the interview, she smiled, feeling a sense of pride and love. The CEO's gaze softened as he watched the little girl. "Is this your daughter?" he asked gently. Emily nodded. "Yes, her name is Lily. She's a bright little one," he commented, his smile deepening. Emily felt a sense of relief. The awkwardness that had filled the room before seemed to vanish. The CEO had a way of making people feel comfortable, and that was something Emily wasn't used to in interviews. She had always felt like an outsider, never quite fitting in with the corporate world. But this time, it felt different. "I think you have a lot of potential, Emily," the CEO continued, "and I believe that with the right support, you can go far. I'd like to offer you a position with our company. We'll work out the details, but I believe you have what it takes." Emily couldn't believe her ears. She felt the weight of her worries start to lift as she looked at the CEO, her heart pounding in her chest. She had come into this interview thinking she had nothing to offer, but now, she felt like she was being given a chance, a real opportunity to change her life, and Lily's life too. "Thank you," Emily said, her voice barely above a whisper. "You don't know how much this means to me." The CEO smiled warmly. "I believe in giving people a chance when they deserve it. You've got that chance now." The room seemed to brighten with his words. Emily felt a mixture of disbelief and hope stirring within her. This was just the beginning. She had no idea what the future held, but for the first time in a long while, it felt like the door to a better life was finally opening. Asterisk, asterisk. Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk, asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk, asterisk. The next few days passed in a blur for Emily. After the CEO had offered her the job, it felt like everything had changed. She could hardly believe how quickly her life had shifted from feeling like an endless struggle to one full of new opportunities. Her first day at the office arrived, and she felt a mix of excitement and nerves as she stepped through the building's revolving doors. The lobby was just as grand as she remembered, with high ceilings, marble floors, and the soft hum of business people making their way in and out. She felt out of place in the polished world of glass walls and corporate suits, but there was no turning back now. Emily held Lily's hand tightly as they made their way to the reception desk. The receptionist, a young woman with sharp features, gave Emily a curious glance, but said nothing as she checked her in. Emily's new manager, Claire, arrived shortly afterward, greeting her warmly. "Welcome, Emily. I'm really glad to have you on board," Claire said, offering her a handshake. "We're all excited to get started." Emily returned the handshake, feeling the tension in her shoulders begin to ease. Claire led her to her new office space, a small cubicle with a desk and a computer. It wasn't much, but it was hers. For the first time in a long time, she felt like she belonged somewhere. "You'll be helping with the administrative side of the charity we're working on," Claire explained. "We'll ease you into it, but I'm sure you'll pick up quickly." Emily nodded, absorbing every word. The work seemed straightforward enough, but it felt meaningful helping people who were struggling, just like she had been. She could already see how much of an impact the job could have, not just on her own life, but on the lives of others as well. The first few hours were spent familiarizing herself with the system, answering emails, and organizing files. As the day wore on, Emily found herself growing more confident in her abilities. She had always been a fast learner, and now it seemed like she had the chance to put that to good use. Just before lunchtime, Claire called her over. "Emily, I wanted to thank you for being so understanding about everything. I know you've had a rough start, but I believe in giving people a real opportunity." Emily smiled at Claire's words, feeling a sense of pride in herself that she hadn't felt in years. As she sat down at her desk for a quick lunch, she looked at the city outside the window. For the first time, it didn't seem so distant. It felt like she was truly a part of it now. Later that afternoon, the CEO stopped by the office, and Emily's heart raced at the sight of him. He walked over to her desk and smiled. "How's everything going, Emily?" he asked. His presence was commanding, but there was a genuine warmth to his voice. "It's going great, thank you," Emily replied, trying to keep her nerves in check. "I'm really grateful for this opportunity." The CEO nodded. "I'm glad to hear that. You're doing a great job." Emily's face flushed with pride. As the CEO left, he gave her a final, encouraging smile. It was then that Emily realized how much this opportunity meant to her, not just for herself, but for Lily as well. She was no longer living day to day, struggling to make ends meet. She had a chance to build a future, and it all started with that one moment in the interview room when the CEO had walked in and changed everything. As the days turned into weeks, Emily found herself settling into her new role. She continued to learn and grow, and with each passing day, she became more confident in her abilities. But more importantly, she began to realize that the real change wasn't just in her job, it was in her mindset. For the first time in a long while, Emily truly believed that things could get better, and that belief made all the difference. Asterisk, asterisk. Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk, asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk, asterisk. Emily's new job was everything she had hoped for, and more. She felt like she was finally finding her footing in the corporate world, a place she had once believed she would never belong. Every day brought new challenges, and she met them with a sense of determination and hope that had been missing from her life for far too long. Lily had adapted quickly as well. She loved spending her afternoons with her mother in the office, often bringing in her coloring books and drawing quietly while Emily worked. The other employees were welcoming, and Emily quickly made friends, especially with Claire, her manager. As the weeks went by, Emily began to notice something different about her interactions with the CEO. He had stopped by her desk on several occasions, offering encouragement and making sure everything was going well. At first, Emily thought nothing of it. It was his job to check in with the employees, after all. But soon, it became clear that he was going out of his way to make sure she was comfortable. One afternoon, as Emily was finishing up a report, the CEO approached her desk again. This time, however, there was something more personal in his demeanor. "How's everything going, Emily?" he asked, his tone warm and friendly. "It's going well," she replied, looking up from her computer. "I'm getting the hang of things. It's a lot of work, but I'm grateful for the opportunity." He nodded, glancing at the pile of files on her desk. "You're doing a great job. You've really stepped up," he said. Emily felt a rush of pride at his words. She had worked hard, and it was nice to know that her efforts were being noticed. "Thank you," she said, her smile genuine. "It means a lot to hear that." The CEO seemed to hesitate for a moment, then leaned in slightly, lowering his voice. "You know, I've been watching you, Emily. And I have to say, you're more than just capable. You've got something special." Emily blinked, surprised by his words. She had never expected to hear something like that from her boss, let alone the CEO. I'm just doing my best," she said, feeling a bit flustered. He smiled, his eyes locking with hers. "That's what I admire. You've got this quiet strength. I think you could go far, Emily. Maybe even further than you think." The compliment left Emily speechless for a moment. She had never considered herself particularly special. She had always been the type of person to keep her head down and work hard, never expecting any recognition. But now, for the first time, she felt like maybe she had something more to offer. The CEO gave her a nod and turned to walk away, but then paused and looked back. "By the way, there's an upcoming charity event. I think it could be a great opportunity for you to network and show your skills. I'll have my assistant send you the details." Emily's heart skipped a beat. She had never imagined being included in something like that, let alone being invited by the CEO himself. She quickly gathered her thoughts. "I'd be honored to attend," she said, her voice steady despite the excitement bubbling inside her. The CEO smiled, satisfied with her response. "Great. I'm looking forward to seeing how you handle it." As the days passed, the upcoming charity event loomed closer in Emily's mind. She couldn't help but feel nervous about it. It was a chance to make a real impression, to prove to everyone, especially the CEO, that she had what it took. Lily, as always, was her biggest supporter. "Mommy, you're going to do great," she had said the night before the event, her tiny voice full of belief. Emily smiled, feeling the weight of her daughter's words. She had come so far, and now she had to take the next step. On the day of the event, Emily arrived at the venue early, dressed in a simple yet elegant outfit. She was nervous but determined. She knew this was her moment. As she stepped into the ballroom, she felt a wave of nerves hit her again, but she quickly pushed them aside. The CEO was already there, mingling with other guests. When he saw her, he smiled and gestured for her to come over. "You made it," he said, clearly pleased. "I knew you would. Let's get you introduced to some of the people here." Emily took a deep breath and followed him, knowing that this was the beginning of something bigger, something that could change everything. Asterisk, asterisk. Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk, asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk, asterisk. The evening of the charity event arrived, and Emily couldn't help but feel a mixture of nerves and excitement. She had been working hard at the company, and this was her chance to show everyone that she belonged. As she stood in front of the mirror adjusting her dress, she took a deep breath. It had been a long road to get here, but she was determined to make the most of it. Lily, as always, was her biggest cheerleader. "You're going to be great, Mommy," she said, giving her a hug before Emily left for the event. "Make sure to have fun." Emily smiled at her daughter, her heart swelling with pride. "I will, sweetie. I promise." The event was being held at an upscale hotel in downtown, and as Emily walked through the grand entrance, she felt a wave of disbelief wash over her. She had never imagined herself in a place like this. surrounded by successful business people and philanthropists. The ballroom was elegantly decorated, with sparkling chandeliers and soft lighting, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. As she scanned the room, Emily spotted the CEO across the floor, speaking with a group of guests. He caught her eye and smiled, gesturing for her to come over. "I'm glad you made it," he said as Emily approached. "You look wonderful." Emily blushed, feeling a little out of place, but grateful for his kind words. "Thank you," she replied, trying to keep her nerves in check. "I'm excited to be here." The CEO introduced her to a few people in the room, and Emily quickly realized that this was not just an event about fundraising. It was also about building connections, making an impression, and proving that she had the potential to be part of this world. She mingled with the guests, carefully listening and engaging in conversations about business, charity, and future projects. To her surprise, Emily found herself feeling more confident as the evening went on. She had always struggled with self-doubt, but tonight she felt like she was finally starting to step into her own. As the night progressed, the CEO pulled her aside for a private conversation. "You're doing great tonight, Emily," he said, his voice sincere. "I'm really impressed with how you've handled yourself." Emily smiled, feeling her confidence grow with each passing moment. "Thank you, sir. I'm just trying to do my best." He nodded, his expression thoughtful. "That's what I like about you, Emily. You're genuine. And that's something you can't fake in this world." Emily felt a warmth spread through her chest. She had always been told to be something she wasn't in order to succeed, but here, in this moment, she felt accepted for exactly who she was. "I'm glad you think so," she said quietly. "It means a lot coming from you." The CEO smiled and gave her a nod. "I believe in you, Emily. You've got a bright future ahead of you." Just as the conversation was about to continue, an announcement was made, calling all guests to the center of the ballroom for a special presentation. Emily and the CEO walked together to the front of the room, where a large screen displayed the evening's charitable goals. The CEO took the stage, addressing the crowd with his usual confidence and poise. As he spoke about the charity's mission and the importance of giving back, Emily couldn't help but feel proud to be part of something so meaningful. When the speech ended, the CEO turned to her with a smile. "What do you think?" he asked. "It's incredible," Emily said, her voice filled with admiration. "I'm honored to be part of it." He nodded, then placed a hand on her shoulder. "You're more than just part of it. You're an important part of the team. I hope you know that." His words meant more than he could possibly know. For the first time in a long time, Emily felt like she had truly found her place. As the evening came to a close, Emily felt a sense of accomplishment and excitement for what the future held. She had taken the first step in a new direction, and with the support of the CEO and the company, she knew there was no limit to what she could achieve. Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. The days that followed the charity event were a whirlwind for Emily. She couldn't believe how much had changed in such a short amount of time. She was not only working in a prestigious company, but she was also gaining the confidence and recognition she had always dreamed of. As she sat at her desk one morning, organizing files and catching up on emails, her phone buzzed with an unexpected notification. It was from the CEO. "Good morning, Emily. Could you come to my office? I'd like to discuss something important." Her heart skipped a beat. She had no idea what this could be about, but her mind raced with possibilities. Was this about her performance? Had she done something wrong? She quickly gathered her things, took a deep breath, and made her way to the CEO's office. When she arrived, the receptionist greeted her with a warm smile and motioned for her to go right in. As she stepped inside, the CEO was standing by the window, looking out over the city. He turned as he heard the door close, offering her a welcoming smile. "Good to see you, Emily. Please, take a seat." Emily sat down, her nerves barely contained. The CEO's office was immaculate, with sleek furniture and panoramic views of the city below. Despite the luxury surrounding her, Emily felt oddly at ease in his presence. He gestured to a file on his desk and picked it up. "I wanted to have a conversation with you about something important. You've been doing outstanding work here. And it hasn't gone unnoticed," he began, his tone warm and encouraging. Emily's heart swelled with pride. She had worked hard to get here, and it felt good to know that her efforts were being recognized. "Thank you, sir. I really appreciate the opportunity," she replied, trying to keep her voice steady. "I'm just trying to do my best." The CEO nodded, his gaze thoughtful. "I can tell. But I've also noticed something else about you, something more than just your work ethic. You're someone who believes in giving their best, no matter the circumstances. You're dedicated not just to the job, but to your daughter. And that's something I value deeply." Emily blinked, surprised by his words. She hadn't realized how much her personal life had influenced her work, but hearing it from the CEO made her feel seen in a way she hadn't expected. "I thank you," she said, her voice soft. The CEO smiled. "That's why I wanted to offer you something more. We've been discussing promotions, and I believe you're ready for the next step." Emily's eyes widened. A promotion? Already? She had only been at the company for a few months, but the CEO seemed to believe in her potential. "I think you've proven that you're capable of so much more than what you're doing now," he continued. "I'd like to offer you a leadership role in our team, overseeing some of the charity initiatives we're launching." Emily's breath caught in her throat. A leadership role? This was beyond anything she could have imagined when she first walked into the company. She had always dreamed of leading, of making a difference, but never thought it would happen so soon. "I'm honored," she said, trying to find the words to express how she felt. "I'll do everything I can to make this work." The CEO's eyes shone with approval. "I know you will, Emily. You've already shown me what you're capable of." As they continued to discuss the details of her new role, Emily couldn't help but feel overwhelmed with gratitude. Not only was she being given the chance to make a real impact at the company, but she was also being recognized for the hard work and dedication she had poured into her job. It was a new chapter in her life, one she had never dreamed possible, and she was ready to take it on. Later that day, Emily couldn't wait to share the news with Lily. As she picked her up from school, she saw the little girl's face light up at the sight of her. "Mommy!" Lily exclaimed, running into her arms. "How was your day?" Emily smiled, her heart full. "It was amazing, sweetie. I've got some big news." Lily's eyes sparkled with excitement. "What is it, Mommy?" Emily crouched down to her level, smiling as she took her daughter's hands. "I've been promoted. I'm going to have a leadership role in the company. I get to help even more people now." Lily's face lit up with pride. "That's awesome, Mommy," she said, giving her mother a big hug. Emily held her close, knowing that this was just the beginning of their new life together. She had come so far, and now, with Lily by her side, she was ready to take on whatever challenges lay ahead. Asterisk, asterisk. Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk, asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk, asterisk. Emily's new leadership role brought with it a whirlwind of responsibilities, but also an undeniable sense of accomplishment. She was now overseeing a team dedicated to the charity initiatives at the company, and each day was filled with new challenges and opportunities. As she settled into her new role, she realized that the work was much more demanding than she had anticipated, but she thrived in the environment. She had a clear vision of what she wanted to achieve, and she was determined to make the most of the chance she had been given. The CEO had continued to support her, offering advice and encouragement whenever needed. He trusted her, and that trust gave Emily the confidence she needed to take on the challenges of her new position. One afternoon, as Emily was reviewing a project proposal in her office, there was a knock at the door. It was the CEO. "Emily, I wanted to speak with you for a moment," he said with a warm smile. "I've been following your progress, and I have to say, I'm impressed. You're handling everything so well." Emily stood up, feeling a rush of gratitude. "Thank you, sir. I'm just doing my best." The CEO nodded. "That's all anyone can ask for. But I wanted to discuss something important. There's a new initiative coming up, and I believe you're the right person to lead it." Emily's heart skipped a beat. A new initiative? This was exactly what she had been working toward, a chance to make a real impact. "What kind of initiative?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. The CEO's expression grew serious. "We're launching a new project to provide scholarships to single mothers who want to advance their careers. It's something I'm passionate about, and I believe you'd be the perfect person to oversee it. Your experience and dedication to your daughter make you an ideal candidate to lead this project." Emily was taken aback. She had never imagined she would be given such an important responsibility. But at the same time, she felt honored. "I would love to lead the project," she said without hesitation. "I believe it's something that could make a real difference in the lives of so many women." The CEO smiled, clearly pleased with her response. "I knew you would say that. I have full confidence in you, Emily." As the days went by, Emily threw herself into the new project with everything she had. She worked long hours, meeting with potential partners, developing the scholarship criteria, and coordinating with her team. It wasn't easy, but the sense of purpose she felt made all the hard work worthwhile. The project quickly gained traction, and soon they had secured the funding they needed to launch it. The CEO continued to check in on her progress, offering guidance and words of encouragement whenever she needed them. Emily was amazed at how much support he had given her. It wasn't just about the job, it was about empowering her to make a difference. The launch of the scholarship initiative was a success, and Emily couldn't help but feel an overwhelming sense of pride. She had helped create something that would change lives, and she knew that it was just the beginning. The CEO praised her for her leadership and dedication, and Emily felt a deep sense of accomplishment. "You've done an incredible job, Emily," he said during the launch event. "I'm proud of everything you've achieved." Emily smiled, grateful for the opportunity and for the trust he had placed in her. "Thank you, sir. It means the world to me." As the event came to a close, Emily looked around at the people she had helped and the team she had built. She realized that the journey she had taken wasn't just about personal success, it was about using her experiences to lift others up. And for the first time in her life, she felt like she was truly making a difference. With the scholarship initiative thriving, Emily felt ready for whatever came next. She had come so far from the days of struggling to make ends meet, and now she was in a position to help others who were facing the same challenges she had once faced. She was not only providing a better future for Lily, but also for countless other women who would benefit from the opportunities she had helped create. As she left the event that night, she couldn't help but think about how much had changed in such a short amount of time. She had found her place in this world not just as an employee, but as someone who could truly make a difference. And that was more than she had ever dreamed possible. Asterisk, asterisk. Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk, asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk, asterisk. The scholarship initiative that Emily had worked so hard to launch was quickly gaining attention. Women from all over the city were applying, eager for a chance to further their careers, and Emily couldn't be prouder of the impact it was already having. She had worked tirelessly to ensure the program ran smoothly, and now, seeing the lives it was changing, made every late night worth it. But as Emily basked in the success of the initiative, trouble was brewing just around the corner. One afternoon, Emily received an unexpected email that made her stomach churn. It was from one of her colleagues, someone she had trusted, accusing her of using the project as a means to gain favor with the CEO. The email was filled with harsh words, questioning Emily's commitment to the team and insinuating that she had been given the role only because of her connection to the CEO. Emily sat back in her chair, staring at the screen in disbelief. How could anyone think that? She had worked so hard to prove herself, and now, someone was trying to tear her down. The accusations hit her hard, but she knew she had to remain strong. She couldn't let this one person's doubts destroy everything she had worked for. The next day, as Emily walked into the office, she felt the weight of the situation hanging over her. Her mind raced with questions. Was this just one person's opinion, or was there something more to it? She couldn't afford to let this go unnoticed. She needed to clear the air. The CEO, noticing her troubled expression, called her into his office. "Emily, come in. We need to talk." He motioned for her to sit down. Emily hesitated for a moment before walking in, trying to compose herself. She had no idea how the CEO would react, but she knew she needed to address the issue. "I'm glad you came in," the CEO said once Emily was seated. "I've been hearing some things, and I want to make sure everything is okay." Emily took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "I've received an email accusing me of using the scholarship project to gain favor with you," she said, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "They're questioning my role in the project, saying I only got it because of my connection to you." The CEO's expression darkened as he listened. "Who sent this email?" he asked, his tone sharp. Emily hesitated before answering, unsure if she should name the person directly. But the CEO's concern was genuine, and she knew she had to be honest. "It was Mark. He's on the team I'm overseeing." The CEO nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "I see," he said. "Emily, let me be clear. You didn't get this position because of any connection to me. You earned it. Your work has spoken for itself." He leaned forward, his eyes locking with hers. "I will take care of this, and I will make sure that everyone knows that you've earned your place here. Not just with your qualifications, but with your heart and dedication." Emily felt a wave of relief wash over her. She had feared that the CEO might think there was some truth to the accusations, but his unwavering support made her feel reassured. "Thank you, sir. I just want to do my job well," she said, her voice soft. The CEO smiled, his expression warm. "And you're doing it better than anyone could have hoped. Don't let one person's negativity get to you. You're a valuable part of this team, and I won't stand for anyone undermining that." After their conversation, Emily felt a renewed sense of strength. She had faced a challenge, and with the CEO's support, she knew she could overcome it. She wasn't going to let anyone question her abilities again. The next day, the CEO called a team meeting to address the issue directly. He made it clear that accusations like the ones Emily had faced were unacceptable and that everyone's contributions would be recognized based on merit. The tension in the room eased, and Emily could see the respect from her colleagues returning. She felt validated, not just by the CEO's words but by the collective understanding that her success was hers alone. As the weeks passed, Emily's confidence grew. She continued to excel in her role, and the scholarship program flourished. She was no longer the nervous woman who had walked into the office months ago. She was a leader, a woman who had proven herself capable of overcoming obstacles and rising to any challenge. The support from the CEO, coupled with her own hard work, had given her the strength to keep going. And now, as she watched the women who benefited from her work change their lives, she knew she was exactly where she was meant to be. Emily had found her place, and nothing or no one could take that away. Asterisk. Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk. The success of Emily's scholarship initiative had far exceeded her expectations, and as the program continued to grow, so did her confidence. She was no longer the same woman who had walked through the doors of the company months ago. With each new challenge, she had proven herself, not only to her colleagues, but also to herself. Yet, just when things seemed to be going smoothly, a new and unexpected challenge emerged. Emily received an email one afternoon from an anonymous source within the company, questioning the integrity of the scholarship program. The email raised concerns that the selection process was biased, and that certain individuals were given preferential treatment based on their connections. Emily felt a sharp pang in her chest. She had worked so hard to ensure the fairness and transparency of the program, and now someone was questioning everything she had done. She spent the entire night going over the details of the program, double-checking every decision she had made. But no matter how many times she reviewed the process, Emily knew deep down that she had done everything by the book. The next morning, Emily walked into the office with a heavy heart. She knew she had to address the situation, but she wasn't sure how to approach it. As she sat at her desk, contemplating her next steps, the CEO walked in. He smiled at her, but there was a noticeable tension in his expression. "Good morning, Emily," he said, his voice calm but with a hint of concern. "I received an email this morning about the scholarship program. I'm sure you've seen it too." Emily nodded, trying to keep her composure. "Yes, I have. It's an anonymous complaint, but it raises concerns about the program's fairness. I've gone over everything, and I can assure you that the process has been completely transparent." The CEO studied her for a moment, his expression thoughtful. "I believe you," he said finally. "But we can't ignore these accusations. We need to address them head-on." Emily felt a wave of relief wash over her. She had feared the CEO might doubt her, but his support reassured her. "I agree," she replied. "I've already reached out to the team to investigate and ensure everything is in order. I'm confident that the program is running as it should be." The CEO nodded. "Good. Let's take a look at the details together, and we'll get to the bottom of this. I don't want anyone questioning your integrity, Emily." They spent the next few hours reviewing every application and every decision made in the scholarship program. With the CEO's help, they uncovered that the anonymous complaint had been fueled by misunderstandings and misinformation. The CEO was satisfied with Emily's work, and together, they came up with a strategy to publicly address the issue. Later that day, Emily stood before her team at a company-wide meeting. The CEO stood beside her as she spoke, reassuring everyone that the scholarship program was based on merit and transparency. "We take these concerns seriously," Emily said, her voice steady and confident. "And we've reviewed the entire process to ensure fairness. I am committed to this program, and I am committed to making sure it benefits those who truly deserve it." Her words were met with applause, and Emily felt a sense of pride and validation. She had faced a potential crisis head-on and come out stronger on the other side. The CEO smiled at her as they left the meeting. "I knew you could handle it," he said. "You've proven yourself time and time again." Emily smiled back, feeling a sense of accomplishment that was beyond words. "Thank you, sir. Your support means everything to me." As the weeks passed, the scholarship program continued to thrive, and Emily's reputation within the company only grew stronger. She had earned the respect of her colleagues, and more importantly, she had earned her own respect. She realized that the challenges she had faced had only made her stronger. She was no longer afraid of what others thought. She was confident in who she was and what she was capable of. And as she watched the women who had benefited from the program take their first steps toward brighter futures, Emily knew that she had found her true calling. She wasn't just changing her own life. She was changing the lives of others, and that was more than she had ever dreamed possible. Asterisk, single mom, was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk. The aftermath of the public meeting had left Emily feeling a deep sense of pride. The scholarship program had not only survived the accusations but emerged even stronger. The support from the CEO and the transparent approach she had taken had reassured everyone, and her team was now more united than ever. Yet, while the professional front was flourishing, Emily couldn't shake the nagging feeling that something was missing in her personal life. She had poured all her energy into her work, into the scholarship program, and into Lily's future. But there were moments, usually in the quiet stillness of the evening, when Emily realized that she had been neglecting one very important relationship, the one with the CEO. As time passed, Emily had become closer to the CEO, but the relationship had always been strictly professional. They worked together on various projects, but there was always an unspoken distance between them. Emily had begun to notice the subtle ways he seemed to care, how he would check in on her progress, offer words of encouragement, and even make small gestures to make her feel supported. He wasn't just her boss, there was something more, though neither of them had ever addressed it openly. Emily wasn't blind to the way the CEO looked at her. There were times when their conversations lingered a bit longer than usual, when his gaze softened, and his smile seemed to hold more meaning than just professional courtesy. Emily had always been careful to keep their relationship focused on work, but lately, it had been getting harder to ignore the chemistry that seemed to be growing between them. One evening, after a long day at work, the CEO invited Emily to join him for a quick dinner. It wasn't unusual for the two of them to have dinner while discussing work, but tonight felt different. There was an air of anticipation as they sat across from each other at a quiet restaurant. The soft hum of conversation filled the background, but Emily couldn't help but focus on the man sitting across from her. He looked just as composed as always, but there was something in his eyes that made her heart race. "I've been thinking a lot about everything lately," the CEO said, his voice quiet but steady. Emily looked up from her menu, meeting his gaze. "About what?" she asked. Her curiosity piqued. He paused for a moment, as if gathering his thoughts. "About you," he said finally, his eyes softening. "I've seen how hard you've worked, how dedicated you are, and how much you've changed this company for the better. But I've also seen something else in you, something that goes beyond just your work." Emily's heart skipped a beat. She had always admired his professionalism, but this was different. It was as if he saw her for who she truly was, beyond the titles and accomplishments. "I think about you too," she admitted softly, her voice barely above a whisper. The words felt like a weight lifted off her chest. She had never expected to say them aloud, but now that she had, she felt a sense of relief. The CEO smiled, leaning back in his chair, his eyes never leaving hers. "I've wanted to tell you this for a while," he said, his tone steady but filled with emotion. "Emily, I think I've fallen for you." Emily's breath caught in her throat. She had known there was something between them, but hearing him say it out loud was another thing entirely. Her heart was racing, and for a moment, she wasn't sure what to say. But then she realized something: she had feelings for him too. "I feel the same way," she confessed, her voice trembling slightly. The CEO's smile widened, and for the first time, there was a warmth in his eyes that made Emily's heart flutter. "I've been afraid to tell you, but now I see it's the right time," he said, his voice gentle. "You've shown me that there's more to life than work. You've brought something into my life that I didn't even know I was missing." Emily reached across the table, her hand trembling slightly, but when he took it in his, she felt a wave of warmth and comfort. They sat in silence for a moment, just holding each other's gaze. It wasn't a grand confession, but it was real, and it was the beginning of something new. Emily knew that this moment would change everything between them. The professional boundaries they had always maintained had been shifted, and now they were taking the first step into a more personal relationship. As the evening went on, they talked about everything: work, their hopes for the future, and what had brought them together in this moment. Emily couldn't remember the last time she had felt so at ease with someone. The night ended with a promise to take things slow, to let their relationship grow naturally. But for the first time, Emily felt like everything in her life was falling into place. She had a fulfilling career, a thriving scholarship program, and now, the possibility of a love she never expected. She was ready for whatever the future held, knowing that she had the strength and support to face it all. Asterisk. Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk, asterisk. As the days turned into weeks, Emily felt like her life had shifted into a rhythm she never expected. The scholarship program was thriving. Her relationship with the CEO had deepened into something more meaningful, and she was finding a new balance between her work and her personal life. It wasn't always easy, but for the first time in years, she felt like she was truly living. However, the comfort she had found was about to be tested. One late afternoon, Emily received a call that would change everything. She had just finished a long meeting with her team about the upcoming charity gala when her phone buzzed. It was a call from the CEO. She picked it up, not expecting anything out of the ordinary. Emily, the CEO's voice came through the phone, sounding more serious than usual. "I need to talk to you about something." Emily's heart skipped a beat. "Of course, what's going on?" "I've just received some news," he began, his tone grave. "It's about the company's future." Emily felt a chill run through her. She had worked so hard to build everything up, and now it seemed like something was threatening to tear it all down. "What's happened?" she asked, her voice steady but filled with concern. The CEO sighed. "There's been an offer from an outside investor. They want to buy a controlling stake in the company." Emily felt her stomach drop. The company she had come to love, the company that had given her a chance when no one else had, was now in danger of being taken over by someone else. "What does this mean for us?" she asked, her mind racing. "It means," he replied, "that we're at a crossroads. The investor is offering a substantial amount of money, but it would come with significant changes. They want to restructure the company, including making decisions that could affect the people working here." Emily's mind spun. She had always believed in the company's mission, in the work they were doing to make a difference in the world. The thought of someone coming in and changing that made her heart heavy. "Is this something we can stop?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The CEO paused. "It's going to be difficult. The investor is persistent, and their offer is enticing. But I want you to know, I'm not going to make any decisions without considering the impact on everyone here." Emily knew how hard he had worked to get the company to where it was today, and the thought of losing all of that was terrifying. But she also knew she couldn't sit back and do nothing. "What can I do to help?" she asked, her voice filled with determination. "I need you to be part of this," he said. "We're going to have to make some difficult decisions. We'll need the support of the people who believe in the company, and I believe you're one of those people." Emily's mind was made up. She had worked too hard, fought too much, to let everything slip away now. "I'm in," she said firmly. "Whatever it takes, I'm in." Over the next few days, Emily worked closely with the CEO to strategize. They met with key players in the company, talking about what needed to be done to protect the values they had built. Emily worked tirelessly, leading meetings, and reaching out to trusted partners, all while trying to maintain her role in the scholarship program. It was the most stressful time of her life, but she refused to back down. Finally, after days of negotiations and tense meetings, the CEO gathered the team for an important announcement. Emily stood beside him as he addressed the room. "After much consideration," he began, "we've decided to decline the offer. We will not sell the company." The room erupted into applause, and Emily felt a surge of relief. It was over. They had won. But the victory wasn't just in rejecting the offer, it was in the realization that Emily had helped make it happen. She had fought for what she believed in, and she had done it with the support of the people around her. After the meeting, the CEO turned to Emily, a smile of genuine appreciation on his face. "I couldn't have done this without you, Emily. You showed what true leadership is, and you fought for what matters." Emily felt a wave of pride. "Thank you, sir. We did this together." He nodded, his expression softening. "No, Emily, you've proven that you're more than capable of leading on your own." As the days passed, Emily realized how far she had come. She had faced challenges, fought for her beliefs, and emerged victorious. She wasn't just an employee anymore. She was a leader, someone who had earned the trust and respect of those around her. And with the scholarship program continuing to thrive and her relationship with the CEO growing stronger, Emily knew that this was just the beginning of an even brighter future. Asterisk asterisk. Single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk. Asterisk. As Emily walked into the office the following Monday, she could feel a sense of calm after the storm had passed. The company was secure, the future was bright, and the scholarship program she had worked so hard on was continuing to flourish. But even with all the success, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was about to change again. The CEO had been acting more distant lately, and though he had always been supportive, Emily noticed a shift in their relationship. They had grown closer as they worked side by side to overcome the investor's offer, and they had both acknowledged the unspoken connection between them. But now, it seemed like the CEO was pulling back, making Emily wonder if it was the pressure of their professional relationship that was keeping him at a distance. It was late one afternoon when Emily's phone buzzed with a text message from the CEO. "Can you meet me in my office after work today?" Emily felt a sense of unease wash over her. She had hoped things between them would continue to grow, but now, it seemed like he had something important to discuss. As the workday came to a close, Emily walked down the hallway to his office, her mind racing with possibilities. When she opened the door, the CEO stood by the window, looking out at the city skyline. His posture was relaxed, but there was a hint of tension in his demeanor. "Emily," he said, turning to face her. "Please, come in." She stepped inside, closing the door behind her, and took a seat across from him. The room felt colder than usual, and Emily could feel the shift in the air. The CEO's expression was thoughtful, but there was something else in his eyes, something that made Emily's heart race with uncertainty. "I've been thinking a lot about the past few months," the CEO began, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "About everything we've accomplished together, and about what we mean to each other." Emily's heart skipped a beat. She had never expected him to bring this up so directly. She had always been careful to keep their relationship professional, but now, it seemed like that line was beginning to blur. "I've grown to care for you, Emily," he continued, his voice soft but filled with sincerity. "You've been an incredible partner in work, but I also believe we've built something more than that. I've fallen for you, and I can't ignore that any longer." Emily felt a lump form in her throat. She had always felt the same way, but hearing him say it aloud left her breathless. She had spent so much time worrying about the professional boundaries between them, but now, it seemed like they were both ready to take that next step. "I care for you too," Emily admitted, her voice trembling with emotion. "I've tried to keep things separate, work and personal life, but it's hard when everything just feels so right." The CEO smiled, his expression softening. "I've been thinking about this a lot, about us. I want to be with you, not just as a colleague, but as something more. I'm ready for that, if you are." Emily took a deep breath, her mind racing. She had always been cautious, but in this moment, she realized that she couldn't keep holding back. She had already taken so many risks in her life, and this one, the risk of loving the man she worked with, felt like the most natural step. "I'm ready too," she whispered. The CEO's smile widened, and he stepped closer to her, gently taking her hand in his. "Then let's take that step together," he said, his voice full of warmth and certainty. Emily felt a surge of happiness that she hadn't expected, but she knew deep down that this was the right decision. Their journey together, both professionally and personally, had only just begun. As they stood there, holding hands, Emily realized that the future was wide open for both of them. She wasn't just building a career anymore, she was building a life, one that was full of love, purpose, and possibility. With the CEO by her side, and Lily's future brighter than ever, Emily felt like she could conquer anything that came her way. Asterisk, asterisk, single mom was rejected for bringing her child to the interview until the Millionaire CEO walked in. Asterisk, asterisk. Hello everyone. Before we continue with today's story, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new videos. It's quick, free, and it helps us bring you more amazing and dramatic stories. We appreciate your support so much. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Asterisk. Months passed, and Emily's life had transformed in ways she never could have imagined. The scholarship program she had worked tirelessly to establish was now helping hundreds of single mothers across the city. The company was thriving, and her relationship with the CEO had blossomed into something beautiful. Emily felt a deep sense of gratitude, not just for the career she had built, but for the love and family she had found. She had never thought that balancing work, motherhood, and love would be possible. But now, it felt like everything was falling into place. One evening, after another successful charity event, Emily and the CEO were walking through the park near their office. The sky was painted with shades of orange and pink as the sun set, casting a warm glow over everything. They had taken a quiet walk, discussing their future and the next steps for both the company and their personal lives. As they stopped by a small fountain, the CEO turned to her, his eyes soft and filled with affection. "Emily," he began, taking her hands in his, "you've changed everything in my life. You've taught me what really matters, and I can't imagine my future without you in it." Emily's heart fluttered, knowing where this was going. She had never expected this moment, but now, standing here, she realized just how far they had come. From the early days when she had walked into his office, unsure of herself, to the challenges they had faced together, she had never felt more certain of her place in the world. "I feel the same way," she replied softly. "You've brought so much love and opportunity into my life, and I'm more grateful than I can express." The CEO smiled, stepping closer. Then, "Emily, will you marry me?" He pulled out a small velvet box, revealing a stunning diamond ring. Emily's breath caught in her throat, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. She had never imagined herself here, asking herself such a life-changing question. But looking at the man she had come to love, with the life they had built together, she knew the answer with every part of her being. "Yes," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. "Yes, I will marry you." The CEO's face broke into a wide smile, and he gently placed the ring on her finger. They stood there for a moment, just holding each other, as the world around them seemed to fade away. It was a simple, beautiful moment, but it felt like the culmination of everything they had worked for together. They had built something strong and real. As they walked back to the office, hand in hand, Emily couldn't help but feel that the future was filled with endless possibilities. She had a loving partner, a thriving career, and a daughter who was growing up in a world full of opportunity. Life wasn't perfect, but in that moment, Emily knew she had everything she needed. The following months were a whirlwind of wedding plans, continued success at work, and the deepening of her relationship with the CEO. They had become not only business partners but life partners, supporting each other in ways they had never imagined. The scholarship program continued to grow, reaching even more women in need, and Emily was able to take on more leadership roles, with the full backing of the CEO. But the most rewarding part of it all was seeing how much their relationship had flourished. The love they shared was built on trust, respect, and a deep connection that went beyond the professional. It was a love that had been tested and proven, and now it was the foundation of their shared future. As they stood together on the day of their wedding, surrounded by friends, family, and colleagues, Emily realized just how far she had come. She had started as a single mom with little hope of a better future, and now she was standing beside the man she loved, ready to start a new chapter of her life. The future was bright. And as she looked around at the people she had helped along the way, she knew that her journey had only just begun. Together, with the CEO and Lily by her side, Emily was ready to face whatever challenges came next. They had built something extraordinary together, and she knew that their love and partnership would carry them through anything life had in store. In this inspiring and heartfelt story, follow Emily's journey from a struggling single mom to a successful leader in the corporate world, all thanks to an unexpected turn of events in the world of millionaire stories. From her humble beginnings, Emily worked tirelessly to prove herself, facing the challenges of motherhood and career. As her hard work paid off, she found herself becoming a vital part of a millionaire CEO's team, working alongside him to change lives through a scholarship program. Along the way, Emily's relationship with the CEO grew into something deeper, evolving into a love story that defied the odds, making this one of the most powerful millionaire stories to date. From facing doubt and criticism to overcoming corporate challenges, Emily's story is a testament to the power of determination and love. In the end, it was not just her career that was transformed, but her entire life, as she went on to become a key figure in both the business world and her community, changing the future for many women in need. This is a story of success, perseverance, and the kind of love that is often found in millionaire stories, reminding us that with hard work and dedication, anything is possible. Dive into this amazing journey as Emily navigates the twists and turns of her new life, proving that true success goes beyond the workplace and into the heart, just like the best millionaire stories often do.